Ho, 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 ho. One of these has to be good, right? 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 God would never do this to me.
He's forsaken us to play baby games. Godforsaken Hole.
Oh. Surely this will be good. Surely.
Surely.
Are you sure about that?
Here we go.
Let's do it. Okay, we're in a game that looks like fucking ass again.
To whose surprise?
No,
Not
us.
mine. What?
What? Was this a puzzle game?
I am gonna blow my dick off.
What is this? This is just like, what? This is just like that one fucking tiny mini game they had in fucking Breath of the Wild.
Motherfuckers be making anything.
Is this? Can we use this opportunity to just talk about how much we hate indie games now? I feel like there's this general pretension and like really shittiness that comes from people who are like, because it used to be if you made an indie game, most of the time, those indie games had to be fucking bangers. Because like the only way that those indie games got famous were because like they were good enough to get the attention of people who would not give games otherwise not made by AAA studios a shot. Like Shovel Knight.
And now you got people making
Fucking banger.
baby games. What am I doing? I can't even see the fucking ball.
Does the mouse do nothing, Vince?
No.
Man. What is the objective here? Like, that's I think the real tragedy of like a bunch of these like games that people don't understand regarding like, especially right now, you know how whenever people make indie games, generally if it's in a retro aesthetic, it's made by the people who were kids during that time.
Yeah.
So like it used to be like when you and I were younger, like all the retro games were based off like 8-bit and like 16-bit stuff because the people at the time were reminiscing and being fond of games that they were playing at that time, right? But now a lot of these games are like doing like PlayStation 1 and N64 kind of aesthetic, which I feel in a weird sense is kind of like, I feel like none of these people really understand what makes these games good.
They don't.
Like, they think like, oh, these games had shitty graphics, but it's like, you were playing them on a CRT, so the shitty graphics did not look as bad to you.
Yeah, because I knew I was poor.
Like, though that TV was specifically optimized to play games of that era. And now, like, it's also a thing of, like, narrative structure. Like, I don't understand how people, and this isn't just an issue with games, I think it's an issue with just media in general. I feel like nobody ever wants to fucking do actual narrative structure, because I'm not the kind of person who's gonna sit here and be like, show, don't tell isn't, like, a valid idea for, like, media.
But what is this?
Exactly, like, there's nothing here.
We got some weird-ass dude fucking talking in my head. I don't know. The other day I was talking to one of my roommates because they asked me, like, they've just noticed that, like, instead of watching TV shows, I just opt for movies instead.
Right.
And I just watch a bunch of movies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, why do you watch movies? I'm like, I'm like, because they're fun. Like, they're more easier to get into for me.
Yeah.
And then they asked me, they're like, well,
no part of her movement she could feel. Just the eyelids, presumably, on and off, shut out the light, reflex they call it, no feeling of any kind, but the lids, even best of times, open them, opening, shutting, all that moisture. But the brain still sufficiently overly much so at this stage, under control.
what is this bitch yapping about?
Yapopolis over here. Oh my god.
Did we actually
Did we do a thing? Oh, Jesus Christ. Please let this be the end. End my suffering. Oh, Christ.
Nope. Get back to what I was saying. They asked me, they're like, what do you like more, like old movies or like new movies? I was like,
All right, this bitch needs to shut up real quick. You were saying?
I like older movies a lot more because like I felt like there was a lot more to do. There was a lot better storylines going on during that time, and I feel like a lot more older movies tried challenging people's perspectives on things a lot more.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Like,
I agree.
Everyone, back in the day was very like conformist or like very, they just followed the structure, the status quo. So like movies back then, like if they wanted to challenge that, fucking went balls to the wall with that, you know? Like I was telling you right now how I was watching, oh my god, am I stuck here? I was watching Dr. Strangelove the other day, which is basically just anti-war propaganda.
Well, I think we made this joke before. Like, can it really be called propaganda if it's anti-war?
Yeah. I feel like you could call anything propaganda that is like
trying to send a message very
hard
clearly.
pushing a message like that, which Dr. Strangelove is doing. Like,
right.
Wait. No. Like, what's another movie I consider like that? I'm blanking right now. But like, I basically just think that like a lot of older media, had a lot more to prove, and there was just a lot more to do because like stuff wasn't made just yet.
Right.
And now it's like we're just getting rehashings of a bunch of like older shit or like stuff that we've already seen time and time again, or just about stuff that people just don't care about. There's a lot of stuff that's just being made that like it's just being made just to be made, like this fucking dumbass game right here. There's just a lot of people putting shit out that they know is shit, but it's like,
what if they don't know it's shit? That's the issue. I think that's the big issue. A lot of these people don't know it's shit because like one thing that I find is that like intention is a very major part in like when it comes to medium, right? And how many people have we seen in the current day discover films that, for example, you and I knew about for forever, but now people are like discovering them and completely missing the point. Like, sure, there are people who are doing it as a joke, but do you know how many people genuinely are inspired by Christian Bale's performance in American Psycho?
Oh yeah, that's just insane.
And I'm like, it's like, how the thought that like he is a bad person, he is like an awful human being, how that thought does not come across to them even once, it's just baffling to me. Like, how are you that media illiterate?
We're also in the generation too of like, I go through TikTok and like I'll see movie clips on there, and people in the comments will be like, I don't want to watch this movie, somebody spoil it for me. You ever see that?
I have.
And
it's
like,
so
that's one of those things that like piss me off because it's just like, I am technically a hypocrite for saying that because since I am in the anime community, I get a lot of stuff spoiled to me, but on purpose.
Right.
Because I just like to read a lot.
Yeah.
I like to read like what people have to say about shit. Am I stuck here? Is there nothing to keep on going?
I'm not sure.
So like I am kind of like a hypocrite for saying that because I like intentionally spoil stuff for me, but it's from a point of view of I want to know what I'm going to consume first before I consume it.
Right.
Like I'll read an essay about like an anime and then I'll be like, cool, that sounds interesting, and then I'll watch it and then form my own opinion about it, which is like, as a film major, that's kind of what you're supposed to do and that's what you're taught to do.
Yeah.
So like it's not my fault for thinking this way, but like I don't know, the thing is, where I was going with this whole spiel is people don't try to form their own opinions on shit.
It's so it's so disheartening that that's the case too.
Like a lot of people just like see something. Oh, okay. This goes back to like what I was saying earlier. I was talking to this girl on Tinder, right? And in her bio, she goes, huge Serial Experiments Lane fan. And I was like, red flag.
Red
but
flag.
You know what? I'll bite. You bad. I'll bite. And I hit her up and I'm like, hey, so like I've never watched Serial Experiment Lane. Like, you know, is that something I should watch?
You would love it.
And she goes, oh, actually, I have never watched it before. I just like it from the clips I see. Oh, I think I'm going somewhere now.
Oh, cool. I guess.
But like, how can you say you're a huge fan of this dark ass anime? This shit should not be somebody's like number one, but you are claiming it is.
It's like having Goodnight Poon Poon as your best manga, as your favorite manga. Like,
while never reading it.
exactly, because like also Poon Poon, without a shadow of a doubt, is a masterpiece, right? But I would in no universe ever call it my favorite manga. It's just depressing.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get through. And that's why I said you'll like Serial Experiments Lanes, because you actually have a fucking brain and you can think and you can process the like stuff that Serial Experiments Lane is trying to get across. But it's like, how do you go about just like having this like, I don't know. I guess this is just like us being like dicks about it, but it's like, I don't even want to use the word poser, because like,
no, that is being
but
a poser.
that is what it is.
That's hard being a poser.
It's like, oh yeah, like this is my favorite thing in the world. I have never once experienced it in my life though.
At least I got to the end of this weird ass level.
Oh my god, it's still going. Okay, never mind. We're done. We're done.
No, we keep on going.
No, it's fine, Vince. We can go to the next one.
But I'm interested now. This baby game got me.
You know what? We were talking shit about it earlier, but I'm kind of with it now.
I don't know what I'm doing, but like, this shit lit.
The bitch a little bad.
Yeah.
You're
like,
a major red flag, but the bitch kind of bad.
I don't know. A lot of people just don't have media literacy nowadays.
It's so bad, dude. It sucks. And I mean, we've talked about on the show before how like Edward, friend of the show, is a teacher, and how like what? Oh,
I guess we are just done.
I guess we're just done. All right. Bye. See you tomorrow.